Hi, this is Majinoni, and I got some comics actually read. So let's get on with it. We have Wolverine and the X-Men, New Avengers, The Incredible Hulk, and Amazing Spider-Man. So I'm going to start off with Wolverine and the X-Men. This was so funny, it was awesome. If you remember old X-Men, going back to like the Claremont and Byrne era, one of the appeals to the X-Men being so popular was how the characters interacted with each other. It was, like a family. It was almost like a soap opera type thing, and it was just, it had a magical moment in time with that because now we don't tend to focus on characters, we tend to just focus on the next big thing. And with Wolverine and the X-Men, this is all about characters. And without this book, we wouldn't see a lot of different characterization with this cast. And it's just it's so good. I mean, just the little bits with Wolverine, even with Hank talking about how his coffee came to life and strangled him. It was just a pleasure to read, just the beginning part. Then, for those of people who are reading X-Force, you knew that Angel lost his Archangel persona, Apocalypse side. He doesn't have his memories, now he's referred to as Angel. And now you have the Apocalypse Genesis, which was like a clone of Apocalypse, and they're trying to raise him as, I guess you can say, in a more positive environment, and hopefully they can turn him into a good character versus evil. This whole classroom setting was great. The way Kid Gladiator's talking, you have Quentin going off on people, and eventually Deathlock comes to class, and he's giving percentages like, so-and-so you have 47% of doing this, or 37% chance of doing that. And, Quentin pretty much is gearing up to burning down the entire campus type thing. But when Deathlock sees Genesis, he basically stops talking, and he knows that inside this young kid could be catastrophe. Brew is really hilarious also, and they show him what he could potentially become in the future. And actually, I'm going to show a little bit of that, because it's not really that big of a spoiler, and I wanted to make a comment on it. You can see here Brew, he's more like he's still the Brood, the badass, but then he's retaining some human elements to it, like the goggles, the costume. And then, here's what Quentin would look like, and he's more of a team player now. But the one thing I want to comment on is this outfit right here really resembles an outfit or uniform from Gundam 0079. I'm not sure if that was coincidence or not, but there's a lot of similarity between this. It's not exact, but it looks like it's possible. Again, this is just awesome. The ending ends, well, I guess it's not that much of a spoiler because there's pictures of it and it's been in previews, but basically Kitty's pregnant and she doesn't know how this happened. If you're not reading Wolverine and the X-Men because you don't like X-Men, just stop that nonsense. Pick this up. This is nothing like Uncanny or X-Men or X-Men Legacy. This is a much more entertaining read. The art, I really like the art, and it just goes with the story. Oh, and then they even have Bam causing trouble because he found Wolverine's stash of martial arts videos, and then Kitty's like, well, let's hope you don't find your other stash of videos is a lot more secure, implying it's porn, and that could be very bad. Again, this is a great read. This is actually one of the best Marvel comics that's out, and you should really definitely, while Aaron's writing it, you should definitely pick it up. Next up is Avengers number 20. This is basically a battle where you have the new Avengers fighting the Dark Avengers, and basically Norman Osborn set them up. You know, he sends them on a wild goose chase, and by the time the Avengers arrive, the Dark Avengers have already saved the day. So when the Avengers come in, now they're causing destruction. And it's basically turning the tide of public opinion. Overall, though, the fight is awesome. Like Scar punching Wolverine in the face there. This is just Iron Fist punching Scar. It's great. I really, really am enjoying it. And I'm really curious to see where this is going to go. Because, you know, everything's all tying together, I guess you can say. Because you had the Wonder Man saying the Avengers must shut down. You have this nonsense over here. You have the Ultron War coming up. And everything is just slowly piecing together. And this is really, really, really entertaining. I guess you can say this is one of the strengths that you can do if you have one person pretty much writing the Avengers. Bendis is able to control the storyline and the direction of it a lot more carefully. Again, I'm really enjoying this. I'm not saying this is the greatest thing ever, because quite frankly, this is better. But this is definitely a good fight book. Next up is Incredible Hulk number 4. This is actually entertaining. You have the Hulk versus Banner. This is basically the showdown that we've been looking for or waiting for. And they drew Banner like really demented. And I approve. I give this double thumbs up. For me, it's kind of weird watching this because you have, you know, Banner wanting to be separated from the Hulk for so long. And now that he's trying to become the Hulk again, trying to recreate the wheel. And while that's going on, and like that was confusing me, like why is this happening? But then, you know, he's mad, he's insane, and the Hulk is just like, I'm just going to kill him. He's dead. And there's a little twist thing at the end, which I'm not going to spoil, but I was wondering if something like that was going to happen, and pleasantly surprised that it did. Wonderful 2-page spread here, and I'm actually really, really enjoying the Hulk. This has been a pleasure to read, and I'm glad to see that they finally have the Hulk on a much more entertaining level. In the past, you know, every once in a while you get Hulk good, and then it quickly falls to mediocre or horrible, and I'm glad that they're finally have it on the right path. And finally, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 677. This is the part 1 of 2 with Spider-Man and Daredevil. Black Cat is basically framed for a crime, and somebody basically stole this holographic phone, or smartphone, and they somehow pinned it on Black Cat. So she was actually with Peter Parker, so, you know, Peter knows that she didn't steal it, so he goes to Daredevil for help. And this issue here just basically sets up the story, and I'm kind of curious to see where it's going to go, so I'm definitely going to get Daredevil. The art, I don't know, the art for me ranges from good to odd. And I'm not saying odd is a bad thing. It's just that, you know, I'm so used to seeing the previous Spider-Man art, like with Ramos, a certain way. So when I see this style, it's a little, I guess you can say, I have to get used to it. But there actually is a lot of good in here, especially with the way they draw the Black Cat. It's a different, sexier type of a look, and it's not as like the pretty like you would expect. It's a little bit more loose, more line-ish in a way, but I'm still liking it. Some of the pictures with Spider-Man's mask is kind of awkward, or his face is kind of awkward, especially with the way they do the eye. There's another scene like that. It's, to me, you know, Spider-Man's known for big white eyes, and when they make him little slits like that, it's like, were you just lazy, or did you not understand what Spider-Man looked like, type thing. But overall, I thought it was an entertaining read. it's not going to attract a tremendous amount of new followers, but it was entertaining, and I'm curious to see where it's going to go. So I guess you can say I'm really off to a good start with these 4 books. I don't know how it's going to end up, but I can say that I was pleasantly surprised and happy with these 4. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down and let me know what you think. And I'll have more reviews later, so until next time.